my name is Anne-Marie, and I came from California. And the reason I came to the temple, I came to the temple because I was in a shit place in my life. And I was very alone and very isolated. I've never been one to like be very open, even with my friends, about what's really going on with my life. And in 2004, I was diagnosed with PTSD, and I was dealing with a lot of trauma. I was dealing with a lot of stress, constant anxiety, but I had kind of been raised, like, just deal with it, suck it up, like, you're just whining. And so I tried to deal with it. I felt like I was complaining if I went to anybody for help or to just talk about it. And I also had this, you can't be weak. You couldn't be weak in my family. So none of that worked. And I kept getting worse and worse. And I tried to get help. And I would get, a little better. Like, there's strategies to help you cope. And then something, stressful would happen. I had a car accident. I had a house burned down. Like, just stressful things. And all of a sudden, all my symptoms would come back. And I was told that, yeah, any stressful event can just re-trigger it. And so it was kind of like living with a ticking time bomb in my head all the time, is what it felt like. And so it's just not any way to live, because life is stressful. Stuff happens, and not being able to cope with it was, my life was not a life. It kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And so one day I felt like I kind of gave up and let go, and I told the universe, I can't live like this, and I can't find the answer. There's nothing that I'm doing that's really working. And I literally let it go. I was like, there's got to be a way out of this, but I don't know it. As a human, I don't know it. And the next day, just random magic. It's not random. I don't believe that anymore. I stumbled on a forum, and someone mentioned ayahuasca. And I was like, what is that? I had no idea what it was. Had never heard of it. I Googled it, and one of the first things, thank goodness for Google filter, one of the first things that popped up was ayahuasca and PTSD. And there was a story of some veterans who actually come to drink and work with ayahuasca in Peru to work on their PTSD. And I was like, I read one of the stories, and I was like, that's what I want. I wanted what this guy had, and so I immediately started searching for places. I went on forums. I went on, and I found the temple, and I felt I was coming here alone, and I'd never been to Peru alone. I really didn't travel much out of the country, and especially not alone. And I was very nervous being a woman traveling alone, and I looked at a whole bunch of places, and I saw the temple, and I saw the Shipibo, the female, the maestras, and that the women facilitators, and a balance. It wasn't just women, it wasn't just men, it was a balance. And I'm like, that's what I want. And the reviews were amazing, and I felt safe. So I came in November, and for the 12-day, and there's really no words to describe it, but I knew I was coming back. I saw the amount of work I needed to do, what I wanted to do to really and truly heal from this and close the door to that past and move on. And so I committed to ayahuasca in that workshop that I was coming back, and I went home for 3 months, and magic happened, and I was able to come to the deep immersion program. And I'm glad I did both. I'm glad that I went home because I had a perspective of ayahuasca, that ayahuasca continues to work after you leave. It's not like you come here, it continued to work with me. My life began to shift in amazing ways in those 3 months I went home. But I felt I wasn't done. So I came back to the deep immersion to really just, what is a few months of your life when you've had, like 10 years of what I'd been living. It's nothing. It's like a drop in the bucket. And so I committed to staying, and ended up staying a lot longer than I'd intended. Again, magic happened, and I knew it wasn't time to go. But in the beginning, I came just to deal with my past and to deal with the trauma, and it did. I did. It's gone. It's just gone. I don't know how. It works, but it's gone. And then the neat thing is I had an opportunity to stay a little longer, and some people ask me, they're like, aren't you done yet, and I'm like, yeah, but I also saw so many people coming to focus on their future. What did they want to do in life? They wanted to find, some people wanted to find their voice. Some were musicians seeking to find their voice, wanting to see more in contact with God, see the spirit world and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I didn't get to do that because all I worked on was my trauma. And so I got to stay. It feels like a privilege to actually do something fun and say, I've always wanted to sing. I've always wanted to, find my voice, to speak my opinion, to speak my thoughts. I played in the past a couple of instruments, and I shut all that down, years ago. And I have rediscovered that. I was able to actually have a ceremony where I actually witnessed the maestro heal my music. And I knew that I was going to play again, and from that day on, I played. So it wasn't only just to get rid of the past, and I closed that door, but it was also like I got to stay, and I look forward to the future now, and I look forward to now, and I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go. I feel like I've completed this huge chapter, and I get to live my life now. So, if you have a chance, come. It'll change your life. It'll completely. It's so worth it. There's no words. My heart's trying to speak, and there's just no words to explain the magic that happens here.